Well, when my children were smaller, when they started school, at that stage I decided that I wanted to go to classes myself. And I was lucky I had a good gap between my two, so one was able to help the other out. I think my worst fear at the time was I going to be able to do it, and would people understand that I had this problem and I wanted it sorted out, and I was prepared to do whatever I had to do. When I went forward, I was given a small interview where, like there again, you had to fill in a form, but you didn't have to fill it in. The organiser filled it in for you. And she asked you what level you thought you were at, which was interesting because I assumed that they were going to tell me what level I was at, which was great. That was a first encouragement. At least you felt, well, I'm not stupid. The difference being an adult learner and being in school is that we had a one-to-one basis. So you had your tutor all to yourselves. You build up a great relationship because at the time when you meet them first, you're nervous of them and they're nervous of you because you're an adult and they're an adult. And the relationship it's friendship, really. How I got into tutoring myself was that I had gone to do a computer course. And I had never been near a computer in my entire life. That night, the girl handed us all sheets of paper and went, do this, do that, do that. So to take that kind of information takes you a while to get used to. And anytime anything happened to the computer, she said, oh no, just go on. It's all right, go on. And she just pressed a button. And after about 2 or 3 weeks of this, I just couldn't take any more of this. I think at that stage I decided then, if I was ever to do tutoring, that it would be something that I would remember. Anyone that's coming towards me needs time to something to be explained, not rush, rush, rush. So is everybody with me? So when the opportunity of the computers came into the Learning Centre, I went back and done another course in computers and enjoyed every minute of it. And that's how I decided to become a tutor. And because I was the first student turned tutor, I got great encouragement and still do. Click and drag. Click and drag. And from that on, it's just gone on and on and on.
Don't bounce the ball inside, Jim.
I don't feel like going outside.
Have you finished your school project yet? You know the one about your favourite football team?
No,
Well, go and get it and we'll see how it's going.
but I don't feel like doing my homework.
Ah, Jim, that's the nicest homework a boy could have.
Okay. Ma, you know Dad's a really bad football player.
Yeah, well, he only plays for a bit of crack.
I wish he was really good.
Let's worry about your project here, young man. I think you should write the full name of the team across the top of the page.
But everyone knows Man United means Manchester United.
Yeah, but it'll look better. Here, practice on this piece of paper. You can copy it from there, look. And try using capital letters all the way across.
That looks much better.
Jim, would you ever concentrate on your work?
I've got a great idea. I could help Dad get fitter.
Jim was pleased with the way his project looked when he took the trouble to write out the name of his football team in full. He started out with Man United, which, as he pointed out, is short for Manchester United. As we've seen earlier in the programme, there are lots of words which are commonly shortened or abbreviated in this way. For example, SAT for Saturday, REP for Republic, and so on. But his mother also advised him to write the name out in capital or block letters. Capital letters are always used at the beginning of a sentence. The referee took out the yellow card. They're also used for the days of the week and the months of the year, for example, November, Friday, April, Tuesday, and for the names of people and places, Cyprus, Ireland, Damien Duff.
Wanna come for a run when you're finished, Dad?
No thanks, no, there's something on the telly I want to watch.
Can you touch your toes? Come on, Dad, you can do better than that. Watch this.
Couldn't do that even if I wanted to. You needn't worry, lad. I've got strong genes. I'd probably outlive you. By the way, Jim, Donald's dad told me about that bet you have on. What did you bet? That's an expensive bet. I'll tell you what, I'll do my very best on Saturday, okay? Can't do any more than that.
Our spelling tip this week is on compound words. Compound words are made up of two words, for instance, childcare or supermarket. It might help you to recognise and spell compound words if you think about them as two separate words. For example, child and care, or super and market. There's a worksheet on compound words on page 48 of your free Read Right Now workbook. If you don't already have your copy, have a pen ready to take down the free phone number, which will be coming up at the end of the programme. Since Patsy has addressed her literacy problem and begun her journey of self-improvement, her whole life has changed.
Well, my income is a lot better than what it was, and it means that I can go on a holiday or I can do lots of other things. I love reading the newspapers. It's one of my great pastimes. I could spend a whole week reading all last week's papers. If a job comes up to do computers in another school, I can go for that. That is something I wouldn't have been able to do 2 years ago.
Patsy has shown that it can be done. She's given us the confidence. It's the fact that she has been through what a lot of people are going through now. She knows the ins and outs. She knows how hard it was and how difficult it was to get where she is now. And we're really proud of her.
Patsy, because she had started off like we had, it wasn't sort of teacher-pupil thing, and it felt like we were on the same level, and it wasn't as frightening that way.
I don't fight, girls. I know now that tutors that I'd met over the years had a genuine relationship with me, as I have with mine now. Well, I have to say I enjoyed both sides of the fence, and I know now what it's like being a tutor, and I also know what it's like being a student, and I know what it's like to be nervous and panicking, and I'm there to encourage them and to build their confidence up, and they keep looking at me and saying, I'm going to be doing what you do someday, so it's the same thing.
Yes! Goal! 2-2. That's the second goal my dad scored and the match is nearly over. Your dad hasn't scored a single one yet. Oh, did you bring the knife? Did you?
Go on, Dad, go on, Dad. Goal! Did you see that? My dad scored the goal.
It's over. I win the bet.
I don't care. My dad scored the winning goal. Dad, you scored the winning goal. You were really good.
Yeah, can you believe it?
I told my dad about the bet, and he said he's going to buy me one of these for my birthday. I'll take the PlayStation game instead.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah, and me and Donald's dad are going to take you both for movies and pizza, okay?
Yeah.
Come on.
The last word this week goes to Patsy.
If you feel that you have a problem, you're sitting at home trying to struggle through the newspaper, why don't you drop into one of the local centres and get the help that you need? They'll be all very much ready to help, and you're not on a time scale. It takes as long as you like. The difference between being at school and being an adult learner is that you get the encouragement, you have the one-to-one tutor, you have your group tutor, you do personal development. There's a whole range of different courses where you build up your confidence. And once you've built up your confidence, there's no stopping you.
Let's run through the main learning points we've covered this week. Teletext screens contain a lot of information, so many words are abbreviated. TUE for Tuesday, AUG for August, UTD for United. When shortening a word, you should put in a full stop after it to show that it's abbreviated. Capital letters are always used at the beginning of a sentence, for names of people and places, and for days of the week and months of the year. The contents page of a magazine is a list of everything contained in the magazine, with the page number, and occasionally a short summary of the article. Use your finger to scan down or across the page to quickly find what you're looking for. And finally, our spelling tip for this week was for compound words. Compound words are words which are made up of two separate words. For example, staircase and passport. If you split the words like this, you might find it easier to spell them. If you have any questions or you'd like some help on anything we've covered in this or last week's programme, call the NALA free phone number 1800 20 20 65. Specially trained tutors are standing by to take your call from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. Calls are free and confidential. You can also phone this number to get your copy of the free Read Right Now learning pack which accompanies this series. The tutors would be able to give you information about reading and writing services where you live, or you could contact your local VEC directly. And a reminder that if you'd like to practice your sums, to learn more about the 24-hour clock, or to improve your numeracy skills, there's a new series beginning on RTE Radio 1. Time for learning starts from Thursday the 18th of October at 8:30 p.m. And there's also a free learner pack to go with the series. Just ring the NALA free phone line 1800 20 20 65 to order one now. Next week, Betty and Bernie set themselves a real challenge. The pair decide to tackle the wilderness that is Betty's back garden and give it a completely new look. But will they get the job done in time for a visit from the local gardening club? Join us next week on Read Right Now. We'll be filling in forms, following instructions and doing some work on word building.